Hi, my name is Josie Pimlott, and this is my comprehensive project for literacy assessment and interventions with Dr. Sarah Broman Miller. And I just wanted to give you a few takeaways from this semester, things that were near and dear to my heart and that allowed me to learn a great deal of things that will help me in my future endeavor as a teacher. So the first thing is are the lesson plans. And I will be the first one to admit that when I saw the syllabus and read over it and realized that I was going to have to do 9 lesson plans um, throughout the semester, I was a lot overwhelmed. But I learned a lot from doing these lesson plans. Um, I learned how to write a learning objective, which I've learned before in other classes, but just doing it over and over in working on these lesson plans just made that more clearer in my head. And then I really enjoyed learning about the different types of assessments that we can give children. And doing those assessments with my student that I worked one-on-one with just gave me so many ideas on how we can assess students that doesn't require a worksheet or a physical test that we give them, which is what I had always been taught, was that to assess a student at the end of the unit or the lesson was you gave them a test. Well, I learned about all these new assessments that we can give them. Also knowing, the prerequisite knowledge that students and teachers needed to know before the lesson. There was just so many things. Classroom management, that is a big one for me. That's one of my biggest fears, is whether or not I will be able to manage my own classroom. And I just learned so much about classroom management. The lesson structure and the procedures on how to do that, how to work lessons was really beneficial for me. And all the different accommodations that we can do for students who may have a learning disability or may not have English as their first language. I believe, week after week of doing these lesson plans really helped me cement that knowledge. But the one that I really liked the most were the peer evaluations. I felt that gave me so much feedback on what I was doing with these lesson plans. I thought it was great that we could give each other notes on whether they thought that would work or if there's something different that they thought would work. I just really enjoyed it. I just thought that it was a great way to learn. Another takeaway that I really enjoyed was the tutoring. I am fortunate enough to work as a para in the grade school and have been for quite a few years. So I work with a lot of students that have learning disabilities or that struggle with reading or that struggle with math. And this was my opportunity to work one-on-one with a student in a setting that wasn't formal. I felt that this helped him be himself. he was able to tell me, things that worked and things that didn't work without feeling overwhelmed. I liked that I was able to assess him at the beginning of the tutoring session and then figure out, what worked, what didn't work, what helped him. And there were so many fun activities and lessons that I could do with him. So I really enjoyed that. Another thing I really thought was an excellent opportunity for us was the Topeka Correctional Facility Read Aloud that Dr. Broman and Dr. April Terry have put together. I thought this was such a great opportunity to go out into your community and, well, not necessarily community, but to go and, help people. This was I really enjoyed having the Zoom meeting with the various ladies, moms, grandmas that we were helping. And I just think it's a very neat and worthwhile experience. Then we have the sound wall. This was an eye-opener for me. Like I said before, I have been a para, so I've seen the various word walls and that kind of thing. So this was a little different. I enjoyed making the consonant chart and the vowel valley, and I just think that the sound wall will be extremely beneficial for many students. Those who struggle, those who don't. It's always a good idea to teach children how to form those sounds in your mouth, and I liked how the students will be able to see, well, the b sound is made like that, or the n sound is made like that. It's just very, it's just a very good thing to have in your classroom, and I do believe that I will be using that in my classroom, whether I teach in a kindergarten first grade class or, a fourth or fifth grade class. So I will be using that word or sound wall. So in conclusion, I felt very overwhelmed at the very beginning of this class. And at the end, I was a little less overwhelmed, but I feel like I learned a tremendous amount of information on how to help my students or my future students. So I want to thank Dr. Broman Miller for allowing me to be able to learn all these very neat ideas on how I can, help my students. So, thank you.